guys once a month here, but I get to visit with you every other day on Facebook, so that's good.
There you go.
They're not asking. What's that?
One of these pages, nobody signs it, right? It says Roberts.
Hey Jenny, what did
What
Alex
page?
think about Christmas here?
He's kind of bored when there's no school.
Oh, that's because they pretty much go year round, don't they? Yeah,
My nephews.
Oh, they have it in Christmas.
Yeah.
Schools do that.
they do. Okay.
It's, I guess with so many people, so many kids, they're all going, they had like a, 2-week break in between and then they go back to
But what's
school.
really weird is like when Zara, like when we had her, she would say like, but when they would have their 3 weeks off, but they would take a vacation. I mean, they go skiing because they go to
Well,
ski.
you got to, it's the only thing you can't do because you don't get them
You
all.
were so proud of
Yeah.
everything.
Right.
True.
All right, we'll call this meeting to order. If you will join me in standing for the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome you to our city council meeting. Sorry, I know it is on a Wednesday and it's not on a Monday, but Mondays we're busy at the end of this month, so I appreciate you folks being here. We're gonna open the floor up. If anyone would like to come up, we have an open public forum before every council meeting. If anyone would like to speak, please come up to the chair, introduce yourself, just tell us you're a citizen of Winthrop. You don't have to give us your exact address. Anybody would like to come to the open public forum? Anybody? Okay, if not, we will close that and we'll move on to the approval of the agenda. And Mr. Walton, do you have any additions? No, sir. Jenny, any additions? Julie?
I do not.
Okay. Dawn?
I do not.
And Michael?
We actually have a subtraction. We're gonna take off item number 5.9, the abatement. The issue has resolved itself and there is no need for council to take action at this time.
Okay, good to know. Okay, then I'll entertain a motion to accept the agenda as written here and we'll go from there.
I'll make a motion.
Jenny's made the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And Dawn has made the second. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? No discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed? And motion does carry. All right, consent agenda. Any questions on the approval of the minutes from the 18th and November 27th, the financials? Any information on the liquor license? Are we good to go on that, Michael?
Yep.
Okay. K-9 policy update, is that something we need to know, or is that something Logan can address in a police report, or that's just
He can address it later, but it's pretty standard policy since we're, we have to have a policy about, who takes care of the legal bills, who takes care of the animal health.
Okay.
So that's what it covers.
Okay,
But we can have Logan cover it later.
okay. Or just, advise us to it, so. All right, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Julie made the motion, is there a second?
Second.
And seconded by Jenny. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll take a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And like sign opposed. And approval of the consent agenda. New business, resolution 2023-042, resolution accepting the resignation of Councilor Megan Smith and declaring that a vacancy exists on the city council. Michael?
This is just a normal resolution. Councilor Schmidt resigned last meeting verbally to the council, and this is just you declaring the vacancy.
Okay, as per our city charter.
Yes.
Correct,
And,
okay.
if you want me to kind of address 5.1 through 5.6.
Why don't you do that? Just make it all in one. We'll call it one.
Well, you don't have to do it all
blanket.
in one, but.
No, but I'm just saying one blanket statement from you, so you
Yeah,
don't have
so,
to address the city charter each time.
The vacancies have to be declared according to our city charter. Then it's within city council's right to appoint a member of the public to those positions. So tonight, you're gonna see some resolutions pass declaring a vacancy, and then we'll be appointing. We've done a lot of staff work on this. We think that the individuals that are appointed represent a good block of the public. I think that have a really good council going forward. So that's kind of what 5.1 through 5.6 is declaring a vacancy and appointing a vacancy. And then we'll do some oaths in between them. Before they can actually serve, they have to take an oath of office, so
And as you stated, this is all guided by our city charter.
it is.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so is there a motion for Resolution 2023-042? There a motion to declare that vacancy?
I'll make a motion.
And Jenny has made the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And Dawn seconded. Okay, is there any discussion? Hearing none? I will proceed to vote. All those in favor of declaring the vacancy, say aye.
Aye.
And like sign opposed, and motion carries. There is a vacancy on the city council. All right, resolution, 5.2, resolution 2023-043, resolution appointing Wanda Renner to the vacancy on the city council. Is there, I'll entertain a motion.
I would make the motion.
And, okay, Julie made the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Dawn seconded. Is there any discussion? Any discussion on that? Okay, hearing none, I'll proceed to vote. All those in favor of appointing Wanda Renner to the open vacancy signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And like sign opposed, and the motion carries. Congratulations or condolences, either way, Wanda. So,
Wanda, we'll have you come up.
Scare her off already.
she's been to a few. She doesn't scare easy. She's been to a few of these meetings, so.
All right, we're just gonna administer the oath of office, so just repeat after me. Raise your right hand. I, Wanda Renner, do solemnly swear
I, Wanda Renner, do solemnly swear
and affirm to support the Constitution of the United States,
and affirm to support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and to discharge faithfully the duties of office
and to discharge faithfully the duties of office
of Counselor of the City of Winthrop, Minnesota,
of Counselor of the City of Winthrop, Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability,
to the best of my judgment and ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Jen?
Congratulations. Okay, 5.3, Resolution 2023-044, resolution accepting the resignation of me, Mayor Robert Edwards, and declaring that a vacancy exists on the city council. Well, I tell you what, I'll entertain the motion first. Is there a motion?
Have to.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion if we absolutely
Wow,
have to.
thanks, Jenny. I
I'll
love you,
second
sir.
it.
All right, thank you, Dawn. I love you guys. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion?
Are you sure you want to know?
If you allow me, as part of the discussion, I would like to read the letter that I will be presenting to you folks and city administrator as an official letter of resignation. City Council President Trebelhorn, City Administrator Loft, and Winthrop City Councilors. As of January 1st, I will be an official resident of another state. So please accept this letter as my official notification of resignation as mayor of the city of Winthrop. Winthrop has been my home for the past 27 years, and I will miss it. I leave not bitter and angry, but rather thankful and hopeful. Thankful for the good people of Winthrop and the trust they have in me by allowing me to serve them on this council for 19 years. Thankful for every citizen, whether they have praised me or challenged me, especially those who have challenged me, because in a democracy, it is indeed every citizen's right to question their government and its leaders. Hopeful for the new faces that are stepping up to engage in and lead this wonderful community forward. And hopeful for tomorrow and the positive changes a new day brings. And most of all, I'm hopeful for Winthrop, because I know this city council and every city employee have only the best for Winthrop first and foremost in their mind. They say the only constant in life is change, and that we must embrace change or get left behind. Change is often scary, and most folks aren't ready for it when it happens. But in the end, we always look back and say, yeah, we needed that. I wish you all the very best, and I'll keep you in my prayers. Thank you all again. Thank you for folks watching at home and every citizen for this wonderful responsibility of being your mayor. I'll never forget the trust you have in me. And on that, I will call the question. All those in favor of the resolution signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And all those opposed, like sign. Okay, and the motion passes. And with that, I will turn this seat and the gavel over to our council president, Julie Troublehorn.
Thank you very much.
Those are big shoes to fill. I don't know if I can sit in his seat.
You'll do well.
I would just like to, on behalf of the council, thank Rob for the years of service. You put in years of service as on the council. Several terms ago, you were back on the council and ran for mayor, and you've led us through some really good days, some more challenging days, but you've always done it with Winthrop's best interests, and we thank you immensely.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's my honor.
All right, moving on. Resolution number 5.4 is resolution 2023-46, would be accepting my resignation from my council seat.
So moved.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, should I leave my seat?
I mean, I think you're fine. So Dawn, you're gonna present the council resolution 2023-045. A resolution appointing Julie Troublehorn as mayor of Winthrop. After the resolution, we'll do oath of office. So ask for a motion.
I ask for a motion on 5.5, resolution 2023-45, to appoint Julie as acting mayor for Winthrop.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
I'll second it.
Motion was made by Jenny, seconded by Wanda. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Passed.
Thank you.
We have like 3 chairs now.
Cheers.
All right, raise your right hand and just repeat after me. I, Julie Troublehorn, do solemnly swear
I, Julie Troublehorn, do solemnly swear
and affirm to support the Constitution of the United States,
and affirm to support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and to discharge faithfully the duties of office
and to discharge faithfully the duties of office
of Mayor of Winthrop, Minnesota,
of Mayor of Winthrop, Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability,
to the best of my judgment and ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Oh, boy. Moving on to 5.6 on the agenda, Resolution 2023-47 is a resolution appointing Kelly Pearson to a vacancy on the city council.
I move to Kelly Pearson to the vacancy.
We have a motion by Dawn,
I'll second it.
second by Jenny. Do we have any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, I will call the question. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Welcome, Kelly. Welcome, welcome.
He asked me to object.
Kelly, do you want to come forward and take the oath?
All right, Kelly.
Who said that?
It's like my partner, John.
You're getting good at it.
Yeah. All right, raise your hand and we'll take the oath. I, Kelly Pearson, do
I-
solemnly swear
I, Kelly Pearson, do solemnly swear
and affirm to support the Constitution of the United
to
States
support the Constitution of the United States, the state of Minnesota,
and to discharge faithfully the duties of office
and discharge fully the duties of office
of the Counselor of the City of Winthrop, Minnesota,
of the Council of the City of Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability,
to the best of my judgment and ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
All right.
All right, we have a full council again. Look at that. All right, moving on to 5.7. Sounds far more mundane. Resolution 2023-48, accepting by resolution the culvert project on Highway 19.
So last month, the city council affirmed that they were okay with the total amount due to MnDOT for the culvert project. Again, that project involves us because our sanitary sewer goes under that culvert and we have to replace it. This resolution was supposed to accompany that and they forgot to send it along. And so this is council is passing a resolution okaying the Highway 19 project for sanitary sewer.
All right. So we pretty much covered it last time, and this is just
It is,
housekeeping.
yes.
Okay. Someone would like to make a motion regarding the culvert under Highway 19.
I move we accept the resolution for the culvert on Highway 19.
Motion by Dawn, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Jenny. Is there any discussion? Anybody have any questions about it? Any discussion, any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. All right, moving on to 5.8, the resolution 2023-49. Resolution affirming the planning commission's denial of Midwest RV rentals variance application.
During the October Planning Commission and my recommendation to council, this resolution will just affirm the three key points for denying the Midwest RV rentals variance application and rezoning. The Planning Commission spent quite a bit of time on this topic. It really started when we received a variance application on 9/6. The meeting took place, the Planning Commission meeting took place on 10/23. And at that time, they answered the three key questions that are in our charter for a rezone. Based on those three key questions in the resolution, it is my recommendation that council approves this resolution and denies by council resolution rezoning it to commercial property. And I do, Julie, I know this is not normal business of order, but the lawyer for Midwest RV Rentals would also like to speak after we make motions.
Okay. Would somebody like to make a motion so that we can begin the discussion?
I move that we do the denial of the Midwest RV rental variance.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Dawn, second by Kelly. Is there a discussion? So is this an appropriate time for the attorney to
I think
make
so,
comments?
yes,
Okay,
if council wishes.
welcome.
Good evening, members of the council. My name is Jake Brecky. I'm here on behalf of Midwest RV Rentals regarding the proposed zoning amendment. I first want to state that it's our position that the zoning amendment request has already been approved as a matter of law under Minnesota statutes 15.99 because the city did not approve or deny the application within 60 days. Without waiving this position, I'd like to briefly address the three key points that the Planning Commission considered. It is important to remember that the Planning Commission only makes recommendations and it's up to this council to ultimately decide the issues. The three key points that the city is tasked with determining in deciding zoning amendment is first, whether the rezoning reflects the goals and policies of the comprehensive plan. Second, whether the rezoning will have an adverse effect on property values in the city. And third, whether the rezoning is compatible with existing development within the immediate area of the property. Contrary to what the majority of the Planning Commission decided, we believe that all three of these criteria weigh in favor of granting the zoning amendment. First, one of the goals of the comprehensive plan is to promote economic development and specifically to promote commercial development in the highway commercial districts in anticipation for potential growth. Midwest RVs is currently operating in the Highway Commercial District, and this proposed zoning amendment is to allow the company to expand into the lot to the east of its current property. And therefore, it's consistent with the comprehensive plan to promote commercial development in the highway commercial area. Second point is there's no evidence that this would decrease property values in the area. The lots adjacent to the property are all vacant, and to the east and to the south of this parcel, the roads are not even paved yet. And if anything, allowing Midwest RVs to develop this parcel will encourage other development in the adjacent parcels. And finally, the Planning Commission incorrectly analyzed the third issue, which is whether it's compatible with existing development in the immediate area. There is no existing development in the immediate area. All of these lots have been vacant for a significant amount of time. And while the city, according to its comprehensive plan, hopes that these areas will someday become residential development, the demand is here now for a commercial development by Midwest RV Rentals, but also by other landowners, such as the property to the southwest that is already zoned as commercial. And given this demand for commercial development, that will incentivize economic development and increase the tax base for the city, Midwest RVs asks that the zoning amendment be granted by this council. And I'm happy to answer any questions if anyone has any.
I just want to clarify now, the time, the 60-day limit you were saying in order to be turned down, does that start when the council does that?
No, it's actually the Planning and Zoning Commission. They have full authority in our charter to make decisions. That's why it actually goes to them. The charter actually doesn't even actually give us an appeals process. That means that the authority is given to the commission to make those points. So on October 23rd, the application was denied by the Planning and Zoning Commission. And then I also read on November 27th, the letter that I had recommended to council just to make sure that you were aware of the situation. So the request has already been denied by a public governing body.
And when was it brought to the,
He submitted the incorrect paperwork on 9/6/2023.
and what do you mean the incorrect?
He didn't fill out land reuse, he filled out a variance application. But then I had spoke with him on the phone, I believe, somewhere in there, and got to know more of the information. Like his lawyer just stated, in our comprehensive plan on page 37, it gives a pretty robust
That was my next
residential
question.
plan. And those are considered residential lots in our comprehensive plan for development and zoning. When we talk about land use, especially when it comes to open trailers, that does negatively impact and has negatively impacted other land in different cities. That's where they got that information from. Anytime you have open property like that, I mean, there's theft issues, there's vandalism, that definitely negatively impacts the overall property values. And then I just want to remind council on the flip side of this also, we received no less than 6 letters from residents that already live there that bought under the assumption that it was going to be zoned residential and developed residential. So we also have to protect the rest of the landowners' rights. And I think it was only fair what the Planning Commission put forth.
And where they are currently, what is that zone?
So the one that is, so he vacated the R1 residential zone. Where he is right now, on the highway, that is commercial highway, and it is zoned that way.
And how far back does that go?
It's only one lot, yeah, it's only one lot against the highway.
he's got 3 trailers sitting. Is that commercial where he's got the 3 lined up on the,
I think he removed those.
Those are gone.
This weekend.
okay, because they were there last week.
Yeah, they were. And that's why we didn't send pictures, and that's why we took the abatement off, is because we can't abate something that's not there.
I'm reluctant to consider rezoning. If it's zoned residential and the people around it who live there are under the assumption that that property stays residential, I'm not comfortable, especially with the recommendation against from the planning commission. I'm not comfortable with rezoning. And I think it's, on principle, I think it's a bad plan. I know that rezoning does happen sometimes, but I think that it really, when it does, it needs to meet really clear criteria. And otherwise it sets a bad precedent for future cases, and I don't think this meets any of those criteria. More questions? Anybody have any further questions, discussion? Are there other lots available that would be commercial that they could consider?
There are many, and I gave those to Mr. Byro. I would have to look it up. It was sometime in October, and made him very well aware of it, and he chose not to respond back, so.
All right, any further
When he
discussion?
bought the property, he assumed was commercial, or
I don't know what his assumption was.
that was purchased from Winthrop Opportunities?
Yes, Winthrop Opportunities did own the lot before him.
It was just one lot sold, or was there multiple lots?
I don't know what the full transaction was. But they were all, that one parcel ID was sold.
Okay.
Any more discussion, questions for Mr. Byro's attorney, for Michael, for our city attorney? Hearing no further discussion, I will call the question. All those in favor of resolution 2023-49, affirming the planning commission's denial, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, we are skipping 5.9 because that's been resolved. And then we're moving on to 5.10, ordinance adopting an ordinance to update the city's fee schedule. The first reading.
The first reading, yeah, so, you'll actually approve this in January again. We separated this a little bit differently. I know for those who've been on council, it was kind of a mishmash. We tried to give everything categories this year, so that made a little bit more sense. Most of the items stayed the exact, same. The only thing that we did, increase, and this will probably only affect contractors, because that's who we normally deal with. So when they rent our aerial lift truck or they have us do something, like for instance, when that parcel, when they took the house out of town and our guys had to take all day long to go chop trees down, we charged them an hourly rate for us to be out there. So that is gonna be $150 now, because if we all go out, it's everyone. So that was it. And then the other thing that we also added were electric, water meter fees when it comes to lawn meters. So we last year started testing out some mobile lawn water units on some properties. And it worked really, really well. It just hooks up to their garden hose. You don't have to install it. They're responsible for it. It worked really, really well. So the lawn meter fee rate is 0.004. It's different than the actual other rates because it doesn't go back into storm sewer. So
And is that read,
it's actually read once in the summer when we pass them out, and we read it again, and then we credit their sewer.
So that's, I mean, that's actually a real perk for people, that's,
Yeah, and we're gonna try to have as many as we can. Obviously, they're normal water meters, so we have to retrofit them a little bit, but it worked better than trying to install and have residents pay to have it installed on a second line. It gets really expensive.
isn't cheap.
It's not cheap. And so we put our heads together, Troy did, and he kind of conjured this up. So I think we had 9 of them out last year, and we plan to do another 9 this year.
Good.
So. The other thing that we also added, just for your reference, is a mobilization fee. So we got this from other utility rates. So every time we have to come in and work, like on a weekend, and it's not the city's fault, we charge a mobilization fee. And again, that's mostly our industrial partners and commercial partners when that comes in. And that's under the utility related, it's under emergency mobilization fee. We charge $250 each incident. So remember, we have to pay a minimum of 2 employees on almost all electrical situations. Plus it's on like a holiday this weekend, it would have been triple time for 2 employees. So, and again, we use discretion on that. It's mostly in those really unusual circumstances, like cutting down half the trees on a boulevard that took all day. We charge them a mobilization fee, so.
Anybody have any questions about the city fee schedule? And we have to pass this by motion tonight as a first reading?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody have any questions or thoughts about it? Someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept that.
Motion by Jenny, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dawn, any discussion about the ordinance or the fees? Any discussion? I will call the question on the first reading of the ordinance to update the city fee schedule. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. All right, committees. Michael, your report.
Window installation for the city will start in the middle of January. They're almost done, so we will have new windows that we don't look like we're in the middle of the ghetto. The fire and ambulance, I don't think Pablo is here. The fire and ambulance building, the old one, it has been vacated. If you didn't notice, we have a storage container unit behind the fire building now that has all their non-valuable, non-record retention stuff. Most of it's tables and chairs. Streams, so city council is invited to a streams meeting. That's the water reuse project on January 11th at 5 p.m. It's an open house. We do not have an agenda. It is just gonna be an open house so that other cities can ask questions. The DNR should be here that day, also MPCA, because they're both very interested in our rural water development.
What are the hours for that?
We said 5 to 6:30.
Okay.
It was January 11th.
January 11th.
At 5, you said?
5 p.m. Our January meeting, just a reminder, will be our annual meeting. We'll set council appointments and committee appointments. We'll set our banks. Another thing in that meeting is January 22nd. For those that are new to council, we will be getting new email addresses to all of you. Our tech guy is currently on vacation, so just give me grace for like 3 days. The League of Minnesota Cities has elected leaders school. If you are interested, that's in February. I know Jenny and Dawn, counselors, went last year and it was really good.
Yeah, that was one in Mankato.
Yeah. And then March 7th, it's the city day at the state capitol. We will be going, especially our region. We're gonna be asking for money for the regional reuse. The other thing that I wanted to bring up is the park plan. Just so you guys know, the DNR is gonna give some feedback to our application. It's due April 1st. They give feedback until February. We're almost done. We have a few things with ISG that they have to do some topographic studies of the land, but otherwise that is moving ahead. We are asking for the full grant amount of $350,000, which will be half the project. The mobile stage, so we have ordered the mobile stage, but it will not be here until Q3, maybe Q4 of next year. Just an FYI. I'm trying to get them to nail down a date, but they have not emailed me back yet because it was the holidays. And that is all I have.
Anybody have any questions? for
Where's
Michael?
that being built, the mobile stage?
Canada, it's a Canadian company, Stage Line is their name. They actually will deliver it right to us.
All right, any other questions for Michael? We don't have anybody here from fire, library, did we record?
Yeah,
the
we
fire?
did.
Yes, we did.
Some of it
Okay.
is kind of repeat.
So we hired a library director, she'll start next week. Or-
January 8th, yep,
Okay,
the week after.
wonderful. That's about it. Public Works, anything we need to know?
They're getting a lot of stuff down. They're gonna take down the Christmas lights early, so it's not -20. I think by the end of the week, you'll see those coming down, so it's nice to get that done. They also finally received their transformers that we ordered almost a year ago. They came in, so if something happens, we are good to go. I'll report on utilities too, just so you guys know, MMPA finally did make a decision on EV chargers. Believe it or not, that was my first resolution when I started here as in council was the EV chargers. It was like January, it was my first agenda.
That's true.
They finally have some that are gonna work. At this point, we actually might put them in the park and actually hook them up before the end of winter.
How many chargers?
There's 2 of them, there's 2 ports each.
Wow.
And they're phase 2s, so they take about 20 to 30 minutes to fully charge.
That's not bad.
Hmm.
How would, I suppose it's mainly for people that are local that'd be charging,
So these go through ChargePoint, so actually everyone with a Tesla or an EV car
okay.
will have it on their map now. ChargePoint actually says we're like an island, other than Hutchinson and New Ulm. Anyone around here doesn't have one, so we actually might get more frequent visits to the park.
Our pharmacy uses an electric car too, and they've been wondering about it.
Where in the park?
When you go in the entrance, it will be straightforward, because there's a transformer there.
So the entrance on the
South side,
by the tank?
by the school, by the tank,
Okay.
yeah. We eventually do plan to move those downtown, that's what was the original intent. But with the Second Street project, we just don't wanna redo it twice, so,
Good idea.
yeah.
Because my question was gonna be, what if we, move parking or things in the park, but we'll tackle that.
Yeah, we're gonna temporarily run the line and then we'll move it after 2025 probably.
Great. Okay, planning commission, is there anything? No. Ours fiber, we have not met, utilities. Just talked about that, ambulance, police. Logan's always good for a report.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys got my report.
Yep.
Here, but,
Shit this time.
yeah, things are going really well. The garage is going up really quickly, which is nice. Pretty impressed with their work so far. They've been there almost every day, so.
Who's doing that?
Mesner's, yeah.
Good work.
Yeah, so, the guys are working hard. Reed especially is just phenomenal. So, he's gonna make us look even better, in the future here. He just keeps chipping away at different cases and, he just does a really good job, so I should be pretty proud of him. Canine policy, like Michael said, it's pretty standard. I don't know if you guys have any questions on it. kind of just goes over the whole program and responsibilities for the handler and us and how mutual aid works and all that kind of stuff.
I liked it when I read through it today, that it listed all the things the handler was responsible for, you know, feeding and housing and affection. That they're,
Infection, yeah.
they're supposed to provide affection for the dog, that just made me smile.
Brian,
Like that'll be a
Brian will give
hardship.
plenty of affection.
That's what I thought.
Other than that, yeah, our numbers are, pretty status quo, DWIs are still up. And we have quite a few cases that we're working on, take quite a bit of investigation time, so.
When does it look like the canine will be?
So we will be getting him, middle to end of February. Brian will get him in his hands. And then March 11th is when training starts. So 8 weeks, 8 to 12 weeks, most likely 8, because he's just a single purpose dog. Brian will be traveling back and forth to Buffalo, Minnesota for training. And then he'll be certified at that point. And so in the 2 months after he starts, he'll be ready to go.
It'd be great bringing that into elementary or wherever, just let kids.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was another cool thing about having the single purpose dog too. They're just a lot more community orientated, you don't have to worry about the possibility of accidental bites and whatnot, so. And I don't know if you saw him when we were doing the fundraiser, Kelly, but it's pretty cute.
It's so
So
tame.
laid back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, for a
Chill.
puppy, wasn't jumping or anything.
No, it's
Right.
really calm.
he just wanted to sleep.
So whenever Brian is on duty, he has a dog with him.
And off duty.
And up, yeah.
Yeah, so the dog is essentially his pet, and then when he comes to work, he's no longer a pet, he's a working dog.
He's on our time then.
Captain
Yep.
Kane.
Yeah, his name's Kane,
Officer Hacker, Assistant Police Chief Hacker, when is she?
She'll be back, January 2nd, so she's gonna do part-time for the first half of the month, just to get in back with the swing of things and whatnot, and with the kiddo, so. And then mid-January, she'll be, I'm looking forward to it.
Us too.
We are too.
Hey, I have a question on the garage.
Yeah.
Is there gonna be a door going into the building?
Yep, so
Okay.
we're that.
There's those 2 windows, I think, that face to the north.
There's only one, sorry, there's 2 windows that face to the north, but the centermost one is gonna be cut out and there'll be a
Okay.
doorway into there,
Okay,
so,
that's what I thought, but I was like, okay.
yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Good. The weather can't have hurt.
Yeah, I've been talking to those guys, they're like, this can't ask for any better weather than this, so they're slowing it down.
Great.
That's great.
Any other questions
Any
for?
news from Gibbon?
Not yet, no, I'm sure we'll start having some conversations here fairly soon.
They
That's
were,
going okay with staffing and everything right now?
Yeah, it is what it is, I mean, they just don't have a whole lot of employees, and they're, most of them are part-time, so, yeah,
I read they were hiring or a new.
attempting, yeah,
They want to.
so we'll see where that goes,
Keep us posted.
yeah.
All right,
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks.
thank you.
Thank you.
Cable Commission, Dawn, do you have anything?
No, we don't meet until next month.
All right, and the Park Committee has not met either?
No, not yet.
Okay. I think that's just about it. I just wanted to take a moment, since this is my first meeting as mayor. And I would just like to acknowledge to the community that I came to this seat in a little different manner. Most people are elected and I got appointed. And, I keep that in mind. I will do my very best to represent everybody in Winthrop. I look forward to hearing from everyone, whether you think your viewpoint agrees with mine or not. I think it's really valuable that we all hear from all of you. So please feel free to reach out anytime you have a question or feedback about what the city's doing. You can say, hey, Winthrop's doing a great job. We love to hear that too. I would also like to say we really miss Pete Mahiak up here. I know he's had a lot of health issues, and I think he's had a long road so far. And I think about him every time I open a council packet. I think about him all the time, and I'm sure all the rest of you do too. So, if anybody talks to Pete, please communicate that, and I just want the public to know too, we really miss Pete, and his services here on the council seat have always been very valuable. And I think,
One more note, I just wanted to say to the new mayor, the first female mayor we've ever had.
I had to look at the pictures.
But you had long hair, so we weren't sure. That's 40 years ago.
well, I feel good about the council I have to work with, so I think it's gonna be a good, productive year, and hopefully very calm, and we'll just get a lot of stuff done. So, if there's nothing else, somebody would like to move to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
There's a motion, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
How's Jenny doing?
I maybe have an answer.
Yeah, congrats, Julie.
Seems to be good. We got, well, let's not get carried away.
You know, really,
I need a picture of the 3 5
oh, all right.
How about here with the flags? Is that all right? That sounds fantastic.
Jenny, oh.
Congratulations, I think.
Hold on.
Thank.
I forgot to stop it.
That was a